before I start on John's lesson, just want to briefly look at Jeff Hall's. Little coil as he pulls his hands back and takes his stride. There's a wind, brace legs out. He's going to unwind, and he's going to really rotate, stab or drive the knob towards the middle of the ball, and then snap. And then continue to power all the way around in the rotation. Let the rotation pull that around to a nice finish. Look at John's practice swing. John's 60, a church league player, plays once a week, plays with the kids, wanted to improve. Again, look at all the things that you saw in Hall's. Stride and pull the hands back, not much coil, hands aren't back. There's a golfy, loopy swing. There's not a stab or drive of the knob like cracking a whip or casting a fishing pole. There's not a lag and a snap. There's not a drive of the hip rotation, pull the lead arm, drive the top arm to create that. It's just kind of a golfy, loopy swing that you aren't going to have much success with. He hit a lot of ground balls, and his exit speed wasn't very fast. Look at Brian Wegman, top pro, rotation, stab, and snap. Rotation, stab, and snap. That's what you want to get. And again, here's your rotation, your stab of the knob forward like cracking a whip. Stab it forward. He's got a little bit of a bad head drop, but he catches up and cuts it through. Here's Jason Branch. Again, connection back, rotation, stab, and snap. And the rotation has to really power it. The lead arm is going to stab. Top arm is going to stab. Look at there. There's your snap. Rotation, stab, and snap. So that's what we have to work on. That's what we wanted to get. And you can see you're a long ways away from any of these. You don't have the connection very good. The bat's aiming down. You don't have any kind of a drive of the hands. That's probably the biggest thing. And so we worked on connection. Real good. Just do these drills over and over. Watch Branch. Every pro will end up in that position. And look at how your back foot, look at how your back foot anchors. You don't keep the weight off. You don't get a complete rotation. It makes your body lunge ahead. So the Frisbee throw kind of made that evident. You want to really make sure your back foot releases. You rotate more powerfully and keep your, like right here, watch how this guy continues to wind and unwind, rotate all the way around. Here's a drill that I thought would be very intuitive for you, and I love it, but it's dangerous to do. It's throwing the bat into the net. Look at how beautifully you do this. Here's a little bit of coil, and your hips just explode. Look at compared to the Frisbee, how they explode open. They torque against one another. And watch your hands. I pick a target at belt high. Look at you. Explode the hands off that hip rotation, point A to point B. Straight line. No effort to lift or anything else. That's where you want to attack. So giving it a heavy bag, that's not too bad there. And then we did the stride and the rotation on the heavy bag. Again, trying to get this motion here into the heavy bag. Rotation, stab, and snap. So far, so good. Could be a little more explosive, but watch Hall. Rotation, stab towards the bottom, and snap. Watch here when we start off on the tee. You're trying to just snap. There's no stab or rotation. You're just trying to force a snap ahead to get a Barndoor type swing. That's a problem we have. Look at Hall. Rotation, stab, create a lag, and then the snap. So you'll see the same swing. You hit pretty good off the tee at the start, but you can watch that's a big circular Barndoor swing. Look at same thing you did on that snap drill. You're trying to force it around, and that's one of the issues in your swing. There's no lag and snap. Here's a drill we can do. Grab a bat like this, rig to the stab, snap. Otherwise, take an axe. You do this pretty good. Stab, snap. Makes sense when you have an axe. Stab off the rotation and snap. But again, when we're just using the bat, you want to go ahead and force it, and then you pull it out of your top hand. So you got to really work on that perfect snap and understand that when you get home. I got you swing simulators to be able to do that. And then this Barndoor swing, understand your hands are going down, but you're trying to force the snap early. You're trying to do your wrist early. You aren't getting the hands to drive. The hands are what give you the good ability to drive that knob with the lead arm and the top arm both, and the hips to drive that knob at a target, the lower half of the ball. That sets your lag. That gives you a guide. And then as you continue the momentum, you can snap through and finish. That's what gives you your ability. Again, you hit the ball pretty good off the tee. Vastly improved. You went from 50 and 60 miles an hour up to 77, but it's a Barndoor swing. You can see you're forcing the wrist ahead. But one nice thing is your hand path is down, which is good. And that's another thing you had to correct. But again, it's got to be rotation, stab, or lag, and then snap. But watch how the sequence. Rotation, stab, the hands lead the bat head, or the knob leads like crack and whip, and then snap. So you'll be able to work that real good off the swing simulator, work it with an axe when you get home. as you got closer to the end, you were a little bit faster with the hands, and they actually forced the stab or the drive the hands out ahead. But most of them were barn door swings, and that tends to make you right up over the top. But your swing angle is better. Now here at the very end, watch. You had a much better stab. We talked about it going backside. Look at rotation. Watch the strong stab. Lead arm pulls, top arm stabs, and then drive right into the snap. Stab or drive and then snap. Look at you rotating the whole time. That's absolutely beautiful. That's as close as you got to a great swing. So I was very optimistic here after about 3 hours indoors, and went ahead and went outdoors. And look at your practice swing. And this really, John, is what you see out of a lot of people. But look at this practice swing. All the things you just did, you just let go with your top hand and you do some kind of roll over the top. Again, right back to kind of here and then pulling it out of the top hand. There's no drive or snap. There's your practice swing in the chair, which had been an hour and a half before that. I don't know why you went back to it, but people do. And then back again with this barn door drag around swing, even though the hand path was better. Again, rotation, stab, and snap we want to get. So as we continued on, well, here's another drill you can do with that swing simulator. You can do a lead arm stab drill, just to get that rotation and stab, and then when you have the swing simulator, rotation, stab, and snap. That's something you can work now that you have that. Typically we give that to 2-day lessons, but I wanted you to have that today. But again, here's your good swing at the end, okay? You're going in a down angle to the ball, hand path to the ball, straight line A to B, rotation, stab, and snap. And anyhow, when you get outside, it's just distracting, and that's why sometimes the live swings aren't as good. The X swing here, again, that X drill is great for you. And again, the throw into the hip drill. These are all things that preluded us finishing outside. So now we go back outside again. And look at all of a sudden, you're not letting that ball drop to that zone between your waist and chest. You're swinging up at it. And here's a back view, but watch here. You drop the back shoulder, you go up, 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 up. You can't drive it that way. That's golfing up. Again, we want to get this. We want to let it drop into a zone, and we want to have a level to it. In our hand path, it's typically going to be down. A downswing, the feeling of a downswing, because if our hands start at the chest, his hands are going down to the ball. And forget about what the bat ends up doing. Your rotation is going to change that. Again, hands down to the ball, rotate, stab, and snap. So I think you learned a lot, and anyhow we decided, well, let's not do the live. Let's go to the tee work. And at the tee work here at the end, all of a sudden you started to look good. You started to bomb the ball. See, that's over the top. Again, but as we emphasize, going down, not trying to lift it, driving the hands to the point of contact, letting it drop it in that zone, all of a sudden you got better and better. Your exit speed went up to, I think, 77 miles an hour, and you hit some nice shots off the tee. Let's see how you finished up. It was great working with you. You got work to do, but I know you can figure it out. Or drive down. Drive them down. Pull and drive down. Look at that. Look at that. That's 285 off the tee. Good. What do you have to do? The last 2 or 3 swings, and then the 15 or so before that were really good. The line drives over the top a little bit, but good line drives. What do you have to walk out of here telling yourself to do on the practice?
I gotta find a T-ball softball team I can play on. No, I have got to concentrate on the knob coming to the target and coming down versus my coming up swing, and so lining up right to start, keeping it level, and following through.